Bismillahir Rahmaanir. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in the Surah ar-Rahman, which of the favors of your Lord can you deny? Allah is asking us, and Allah is issuing a challenge to mankind, to believers. And in another ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to know that every good thing that comes to you, it is from your Lord. And every thing that happens that is bad, it is coming from your ego. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahil aliyyil azim. If a man is not understanding and is not making himself think to understand, the man is not a man. He's worse than an animal. Because the animal, although they don't think the way that the man is thinking, but they are receiving, certain animals are receiving divine inspiration, and they don't disobey. They submit. All animals submit. They submit to the reason that they have been created for. They submit to their instinct. Their instinct is what Allah has programmed into them. What Allah has put, what is their character, what is their personality. But man, when he doesn't think, when he is not in meditation, when he's not trying to understand, he falls lower than an animal. He becomes a zombie that time. He becomes worse than a machine. The machine is doing what he has been created for too. But man, when he is not being created, he has been created to know himself. If he is not fulfilling the reason of his creation, to know himself and to think, to understand, to put two and two together, to not fall into a drunken state and ghaflat. Go sit over there. Go, move. When he is just submitting to the ego, when he is just submitting to his stubbornness, to his arrogance, and is falling into a heedless and a headless station, then that one possibility, even if he is declaring himself a Muslim, possibility, if he is in ghaflat and in arrogance and in stubbornness, when the angel of death comes to take his life, he may lose his faith that time. Because he is not sitting down to think of the favors of his Lord. Which of the favors of your Lord can you deny? Man who is not thinking of the favors of his Lord, and he's not saying shukr, either he's just going to be so angry all the time, complaining, and complaining, and complaining. And in reality, if you complain against your Lord, you are challenging Allah. You are challenging Allah. First one to complain was Shaitan. He didn't like Allah's order. And he's saying, why I should? He is made from earth, from mud. I'm made from fire. Why I have to make sajda to him? If we are not at the door of shukr, we'll be at the door of complaining. And we start complaining, very easy that time. Not only are we going to be under heavier punishment, but we may lose the faith. That time, you can have everything, but the man is always complaining. Nothing of the favors of his Lord that he cannot deny, but because he's not thinking, He has no taste for those favors too. And nothing is going to make him happy. Nothing will make him satisfied because he's not giving shukr. Then that time, yes, he'll be the most miserable person, even when he thinks that he has everything, even when he has everything. Because the contentment, the happiness is not coming from material things. It is coming from giving shukr to Ya Allah, to our Lord, to our Creator. Man, then that time cannot fall under a routine. He cannot be a zombie. He cannot take, especially these holy nights and days that we are passing, for casualness, for routine, for being relaxed, especially if you are in holy associations. If you're in zikr and in sohbet when doing something, you remember how nervous we were when Shaykh Effendi was around in holy days. I'm not seeing nervousness in people's faces too. Why were we nervous? Because we want Allah to be happy with us. Prophet ﷺ and the awliya Allah, they are very nervous about making Allah happy or making Allah upset. We have been given a guide to show us the way to taqwa, the way to making Allah happy with us. We should feel nervous. We should watch everything. And we should fix everything. But more I'm looking, people instead of fixing, they fall more into ghaflat, more into a routine, more into casualness, more into another day, same thing we're going to do, zikr, sohbet, drinks, and that's it, eating. Hey, how are you? I'm good, bro. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam. This is what is happening. Or saying, I'm not responsible. Everyone is saying, I'm not responsible. It is not my job. It is everyone's job. I'm putting the burden on everyone too. It is everyone's job. Because we can go tomorrow. Then what is going to happen? You cannot say that time when we are gone and you say, well, I wasn't trained, so I'm just going to give up. Who is going to continue? That time, if you're not continuing, you may lose your faith, because that is our job, that is our purpose here. That is our responsibility. Don't we say all the time, may we continue this way until we die? How you continue this way? With sleeping during the zikr? Sleeping during the sohbet? By just hanging out? By just not caring, not feeling the seriousness of the situation? I'm being very serious. We have to. You see? We have to. Because Shaykh Effendi may come any minute. And he is here. Other guests may come. I bet you, if somebody else comes, if the supervisor of this town, let's not say mayor or president comes, everyone is going to get so excited. Everyone is going to watch everything. They're going to clean everything. Yes. Or if you say one celebrity is going to come, everyone will be talking about it days in advance, fixing themselves, doing this, watching everything. What is not your area at that time, you're going to watch other people's areas too. But the Thursday night is the holiest night. It is more holy than the two Eids, the two Bayrams combined, isn't it? How many times have you been hearing this? How are we treating them? Especially, this is the last Friday, last Jummah night of the Rajab. Is it? So, instead of picking ourselves a little bit more, do not fall into the heedless stations. Remember the favors of your Lord. Count them. Remember. Remember. Count them and watch and remind yourself. Then, that time there will be a fire, there will be a passion inside of If anything, you say, Ya Rabbi, thank you. I did so many wrong things. You're still giving me. I have shame. But today's people, they don't have shame too. They have shame with others. They feel responsible towards others, but not towards their Creator. They feel shame if there is a public is looking, but not when Allah is looking. We are gathering here for the sake of Allah, to remind ourselves, to think, to understand, and to put it into practice. But if you are treating it as a routine, if you're being a robot, and you're being a zombie, with things that are happening to you, which is a very big blessing, if you're not constantly reminding yourself, you may lose it. And one day you may lose it. We've seen people doing it. We've seen people who are not thinking and counting their blessings. Where are they now? Out there with the shaitans. Definitely. May Allah protect us. So, wake up. Wake up for holy associations. Wake up for the remembrance of Allah. Don't fall into a ghaflat. These words for me and for you. May Allah forgive me. Al-Fatih.